Hello, you guys, and welcome to another module. Today, we're going to be talking about independent business owners, otherwise known as IBOs. So, IBOs, if you guys have ever experienced any form of blacklisting in terms of payment processing, whether it be Stripe, Shopify payments, or even third-party payment processors such as Getrix or BankCard USA, you might find yourself in a position where you need somebody else in order to process those payments for you. So that even goes back to if you're processing payments as a young individual on Shopify, and you make mistakes and maybe you don't fulfill on time, and then you have to go and you have to create a payment processing profile in your parents' name, and then that, you do particularly well with, you have success with, but as we all know, dropshipping and e-commerce is very unpredictable, especially on the timeline or on the side of payment processing rather. So an independent business owner is basically like a silent partner allowing you to process utilizing their status, whether it be within their corporation or their EIN. Okay, so you are processing with them as partners and you pay them a flat fee in order to process monthly utilizing that information, and the banks allow you to process with their information. Okay, so an IBO is basically, it's like having a shareholder that doesn't necessarily have ownership in the business, but they receive some form of payment in order to allow you to process payments utilizing their identity. Okay, so IBOs are very, very lucrative. If you have ever experienced any form of payment holds, or you're not able to create a new Shopify payment and you don't have friends or family to go to, and you want to keep everything above the board and very business savvy in terms of maybe potentially selling that business down the line, an IBO is definitely what you're looking for. So it's essentially like a signer that's going to represent the corporation or the business that they are physically present on, but they don't physically actually do any payment processing online. It's just for the sake of your business. Okay, so IBOs and the setup, there's a ton of different people to go to. If you type in IBOs on Google, you'll surely see some of the marketplaces that allow you to purchase them or communicate with potential IBOs that are interested in working with you. Just always make sure that you're fully white hat when using IBOs, because it is that other person's personal reputation and their LLC on the line, and they're very, very strict, and a lot of these companies are very strict with the type of offers that you're running. So as long as you're running particularly white hat offers, you shouldn't have any issues with IBOs. But a lot of the people I'm sure in this course haven't even heard of IBOs, or they don't even know that that's a potential possibility if you've been blacklisted on payment processing or put on the match list. Okay, so I don't discredit anybody that's been put on the match list. I have very good friends that have put on fully white hat offers and have still been put on the match list just from Visa chargeback ratios when scaling too aggressively. Visa has a threshold of about 70 to 80 chargebacks within a particularly 30-day period that can put you on that match list. So I'm fully aware that even white hat dropshippers get put onto the match list occasionally, and this is an easy way in order to get yourself off that match list. It won't get you off the match list, but it'll at least allow you to payment process. So the match list particularly lasts around 5 years. That's just a matter of time. You can communicate with them and try and get off the match list, but particularly this will allow you to process without a partner. So if you're very independent and you like to stay independent, just hire an IBO. The typical price range that you can expect is around $2,800 to $3,500 per month from what I've seen on the marketplace currently. But if you're running any particular offer such as white hat MRR or just front end sales, and you're doing a couple $100,000 a month, it's definitely a huge value to the business, and it allows you to maintain 100% profit on that store without needing to acquire a partner to bring in order to process payments for you. And particularly when you're processing through like an LLC, if you use an IBO and you go through like Getrix or BankCard USA, such as a third-party payment provider, it's even more secure than like Stripe or Shopify payments, because Stripe and Shopify payments, as we know, they're like very fragile, right? So they're not open to any chargeback ratios above 1%. There's no way to really go in and help negate chargebacks using RDR or Mitigator or Chargeback 911. They have no technology on that aspect. So you're really just fighting disputes and hoping for a response. But, that's not the case. Shopify payments now is basically turning into PayPal as well as Stripe. Like if you're not doing SAP or SaaS and using Stripe to particularly process 100% of your payments, like you're on the borderline of risk tolerance for me in particular. So I'd always recommend setting up a high risk merchant account. They're as competitive in terms of rates. They just allow a little bit more of a chargeback threshold, and they'll help you work on those chargebacks if you're experiencing it. If you can't get independent third-party payment processing, IBOs are something to look at. And a lot of you guys, I'm sure, don't know what that is. So look up independent business owner. And the price range, like I said, is anywhere from $2,800 to $3,500 a month. But if you're in that upper echelon of e-commerce, that's pennies on the dollars in terms of the benefit that this provides you. I hope that this module was interesting. Once again, IBOs are very important. Look into it. Something that I'm sure could be a great asset to you. Thank you so much for watching the Black Hat course.